All right, we're back after the OBS debacle. Please let me know if the audio is good. The picture seems good. I'm using the other software now. I just don't like it because I don't have as much control over it. So let's see here. What do we need to do? We need to zoom this up a little bit. Nope, still can't do it. Won't go up. All right. Here's what we're going to do today. End of the day. I'm going to go ahead and hinge this up. Sand this other flap. I'm not going to get this thing done today. There just is no way. It's just the way it goes. But once again, I'll show you the process. So let's do this. We'll do that. Do it that way. Okay, the first thing I got to do is get my hinges. I found my hammer. It was right where it was supposed to be, out of sight, hanging up where it belongs. Remember the other day I went and was trying to do hinges with a pair of pliers. Do we have good audio? Let me know. I got 3 watchers. I found another thing I'm going to discuss, which is this right here. This, my buddy Jerry, who passed away, I ended up getting these. This is some type of fly fishing reel. I'm going to use that for flying lines. So anyway, let me type this in because you guys won't help me. Audio check, audio check, audio. Gotta be working. So we need 6 of those, 3. Let's see, 3 and 3, 6, 2 of these, 7, 8 for horns. Nope, I gotta have them little eyelets in my beater. Okay, I need tweezers, really. So damn tiny. 1, 2. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. Super chats help. The channel metrics, they've got this all screwed up. If it was like 2005, I wouldn't have to worry about all this stuff. But it's not. Ever since the Adopolis, I don't even know how to say what the hell they were saying, Adpocalypse, where all their advertisers left them. Make it tough on the creators to do this stuff. Okay, so I got that. And hopefully I need the small one. This is the tool ground up for this. And take one of the little eyelets. We're just going to make them all here. Might as well. One. Northridge machine in the vendor section. He's the guy who cut these for me. Now, seeing that I have a laser cutter and a pen router, now I could do this myself. But you know what? I can't figure out the G code, so I'll just continue to have him cut them. I don't have enough. There's not enough time in my life left to master all these programs. So I'll just do what I do best, and maybe we'll get a 12-year-old kid to do something that he does best, or she, whatever. Come on. You just take this little center punch here, stick it in the hole like I showed you before. One or two little taps. Yeah, we'll get them all at the same time. Can't get it together here. Type something in there. I need to know if it's working. Yeah. I was selling these hinges for $1 a piece. And now you know why they're $1 a piece. First off, you got to have pin routed. Second off, you got to find the little brass eyelets. And third off, you got to stand here and punch these things and find the right wire. Okay, we'll just leave this over here. I have to drill those two out for the next size up from 1/8 inch. Well, I got no clue, Tom. I got no clue what happened there. Let me see. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. Come on. Back to work on a Sunday. Wing. We got 11 watchers. Pretty slow tonight. I think everybody is, yeah. I think everybody's trying to be on the internet today, which is fine. Okay, so I made the hinges up. Oh, wrong one. I need to go back here and move this over here. Eric Bren spinning the plates. Then when I get on the sandpaper, it's Bob Ross. Okay, so now this is camera 1. All right. So how this works again is this is going to end up in here, like so. So, got to get the wire. Hopefully I can find a wire without a big deal. Of course, it's going to be a problem. I don't know if this is it or not. Of course not. Damn. So now I have to find the wire. In order to find that wire, I'm going to have to dig this out and dump it out. Oh, what's that? That's carbon. I got a box here with miscellaneous garbage in it. Motor mounts, dowels, scrap wood. What the hell? I need to throw all the scraps out. I only had one piece of wire, so it's going to be difficult to find, of course. Of course it is. It's 44 thousandths. So dump it on the floor. Yay, you got it. I'll throw this wood away. It's all scrap. We got some push rod here we're going to need, so we'll leave that out. We might use that. Get rid of all this shit. I don't know why I saved those sticks. I guess that comes from childhood stuff, little scraps like this. I'm going to save this. But I don't, these are useless. For me, these are cut 1/4 inch wide or 3/8 wide. I don't know, I might save them. And this piece, but this piece here, throw it away. This piece here, throw it away. That piece there. I guess somebody could build a whole airplane out of all my scrap. Another carbon fiber rod. This one's thinner. I think this one's better. This one's lighter, so we'll leave this one out. Lighter, better, stronger. Okay. See, by looking at these wires, here's the wire here I'm going to use, and here's the wire that looks like it'll work, but it won't because it's just a little bit bigger. And I only had that one. It's hard to find that 44 thousandths wire. We'll worry about putting this up in a second. I need to rearrange, dump out this whole balsa box, rearrange all my wood. I don't have the time. Here's a motor mount for my next airplane. You see my next airplane? Looks good, doesn't it? Okay, let's get the cutters. We got the cutters. Okay, we're not building a watch like I've said several times. We need 6 1-inch pieces. So you just guess. Ooh, don't fall down. That must go in your foot like a needle. And that's exactly what it did. Oh, well, where did it go? I won't know till I step on it, run it through my toe. Damn. I'll look for it after the show. That's 2, 4, 5, 6. Back in the box so I don't lose it. That's enough. That's enough wire to build 2 more airplanes. Let me look real quick here. I'll have to get a magnet to figure it out. It's gone. There it is. Got it. All right. No, I haven't decided yet. I'm not really looking right now. I got to get this. I got to keep my mind focused on getting this one done. Figure I got about 2 weeks to get this one together, and so I can, when I go back home next month, I can start finishing. Oh yeah, finish on this one's already planned. This airplane will look just like my original. It'll be the 3rd one I've done in that paint scheme. But well, it'll have more detail than the other one. The other one was a 60s paint job. This will be a 2020 paint job. Okay, we got all these bent up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you would think, well, we'll throw this piece of wire away. No way. It's too hard to come by. Put it back in the box. Where's the box? There it is. No way, Jose. Okay. These two hinges right here are the bearings for the flap horn, but we're not going to bend a flap horn tonight anyway, so it doesn't much matter. We're going to do these hinges and get them drilled and set so that at least one side is done. And like I say, I won't get this wing done this weekend. It'll be working on, we are back, yeah. We are back. It'll be, I got 6 days to get the major components done before the end of the month, because I'm not going until February, back home. About the middle of February. So you stick a wire in it like so. That's one. We'll go ahead and set them all. Well, I better not. Okay, now I need my stripper. And we got a piece of, this is quarter. I don't think it's, I think it's, yep, I think that'll be fine. You know, it's a little odd working with metrics because the thicknesses are just a little bit different. But it's close. I mean, there they are. Okay. Gonna strip off a piece of this. Now I've cut 10 times too many. Hey, Craig, thanks. I cut off enough to do 2 airplanes, so. So we'll have it. Okay, so now pretty dangerous step right here. You can screw yourself up pretty good. Lock the hinge up. Broke it loose. Yep, I locked it up. Damn. There it is. CA got away from me a little bit. Come on. I don't like it. They ain't straight. Okay, try again. There we go. These have to be 90 degrees to the hinge line, or else they bind. They won't be floppers. Damn. That and you can't have CA going anywhere. Why am I having a hard time tonight? I didn't make up any extras, so got to use this one. Okay, I got it cleared. Okay, try again. Keep trying till I got it screwed up. That's better. For some reason that CA tonight wanted to wick uphill. I've never seen that before, but I've done it 3 times now. Just did it there too. Must be this piece of wood. but it's loose, so we're cool. Yeah. It'll be fine. I went back and watched some more of that guy's stuff today. Man, does he like to paint? No wonder why he got 6 pounds of nose weight. £6. Come on. And if you hit it with kicker, it'll definitely go uphill. Okay. Finally. Yeah, use that stick, I guess, and just sand them. Now you guys can do your own way. John, he cuts the slot along the whole thing and puts in a piece of plywood. I don't like it as well as this. Not that it doesn't look good. It's that I'm afraid that that pin will pull out of there, because I had to repair the tucker. I did it John's way, so now I'm back to my old way. You know, when your car's running and it's running good, you don't take the motor apart and see what's making it run so good. So this has worked for me this way since I started doing this. It's difficult, but good evening, Christopher. Thank you, Craig. We're back. Yes, Gary. I didn't see any designs today. You didn't send any to me today, did you, Gary? Okay, I got it close here. But it's not, I mean, it's not finished, so it's going to take some tinkering. This one was difficult because I had to do it so many times, got hard spots in it. So we'll wait to finish that up with some 180. This 80 grit is kind of, can I ask what was a little, yes, the hinges are homemade. The little section of wire, see the grommet in it? The grommet's peened over. The little piece of wire goes in like so. And then it goes in the hinge or the pocket like this. I need to bend that a little more to 90 degrees. Does that make sense? These are the best hinges I've ever used. And they were told to me by a friend of mine, Ron O'Toole, 25 or 30 years ago. He even told Dan Winship about them 25 or 30 years ago. Yes, and yes, it anchors the hinge. And we couldn't figure out what the hell he was saying. And then one day I was sitting on my couch, I don't know, been about 15 years ago. And I went, hey, I know what he meant. And I went upstairs and I made a set and been using them ever since. So I didn't get shown how to do it. I was just told about how to do it. And it's so it was so out of the ordinary that my brain had just forgot it. Because this is not conventional, but it is good. So I don't know why I'm having so much difficulty with these hinges tonight. They don't normal have it. Probably because I'm showing you guys. Of course, it wicked in there a little bit. It's all right. Freed up. 1/8 inch. 1/8 by 3/8 or 3/16. It's the slot from the top of this to the bottom is 3/8 of an inch. This is 3/16 to the center. So that means it pivots right on the leading edge of the flap. It never changes gap, so to speak. You have to be super careful putting them in. Because you get a catastrophic lockup pretty easy. And then you just rip out the hinge and do it again. And the nice thing about this, what locks this in is the dope and the covering. Because you're taking the covering and wrapping around this. It ain't going nowhere. Come on, get on there. That CA is wicking uphill. Can't have that clicking. Have to clean it out somehow. I'll have to work on them. But I kind of want to get this set tonight. So if I get nothing else done tonight, I'll get at least one flap set. There it is right there, a little piece of CA. Okay, we got it. I'm getting some from Greg. Okay, cool. Little fiddly to mess with, but once you use them, you'll love them. Remember, the horn has to go through the same hinge too. Whether it's 1/8 inch or 3/32 horn, it has to all stay in the same line in order to work correctly. So this has 6, 7, 8 hinges on the wing. You got 3 on the other side, that's 6, and 2 for the horn, that's 8. The idea is along the Robart design, but the bad thing about the Robart design is you can never get them in straight. They're shit. That and they're always tight. You got to take them apart anyway. These you can make as loose as you want. It'll take a little fiddling to get it blended in perfect, but I'll get it. I won't worry about that tonight. I will worry about getting them all in there and joined. One more, then we can attach it. Really appreciate you guys coming around and liking the videos, and we got 23 watchers. There'll be 300 hours of view time on this video before we shut it off. So hopefully some of this stuff is sinking in. Do your job and do it right. Life's a Ball TV tonight. Is the body of the hinge wood? Yes. It's a 7-ply aircraft wood. Thinking about making some out of carbon fiber with the bushings already installed. That was Dan's idea. Might do that. I doubt to be any lighter. And it's hard to get lighter than a piece of plywood. Little piece of plywood. But if I had them done like that, I could just baloney cut them off. You know, cut them with the table saw, 1/8 inch wide, wherever how wide I want to make them. On call. We might do that. Then they would be for sale, because I wouldn't have to do much except lay them up one time and cut them off. But if I gotta do all the work of getting them cut, getting the eyelets, getting the wire, bending the wire, setting the eyelet, it ain't worth it, even for $15 a piece, or $15 a set. It ain't worth it. Okay. And control line guys just don't want to pay for anything, so. I ain't doing it. Come on. There we go. Is the body of the hinge wood, yes. I think it's time for a new blade. It's starting to split the wood instead of cutting it. I was going to order another sound mixing board off Amazon for another $113 or whatever the heck it was. I decided, nah, this video making is, we'll just go with what I got. Always trying to upgrade, but this ain't what it cracked up to be. There we go. You notice I'm always applying glue with it going downhill away from the hinge. So anybody using these hinges, you apply glue in the other direction, you might as well throw it in the trash. Because it will bind up. It's taking me an hour to do one flap. Plus the jerking around with the OBS software and the virtual camera. That didn't work. Locked up the. Maybe if I get a better computer, it might work. See, I can't put pictures on here or nothing like I wanted to. You guys see the picture Billy holding my airplane on the test? He knows that ain't his design. He said, "What is this?" I said, "It's my own. It to look like you." Okay. All right, that's close enough to get it on there right now. Anyway, so let's figure out how to do that. We got to have an 1/8 inch drill bit. 1/8 inch. Use a finger drill. I've already marked these places. Inside the fuselage, there's a little block of wood. Because if you didn't have that little block of wood, all you'd be gluing into is a 1/4 inch for the trailing edge. So you got to have that little block of 3/8 wood so that this whole tang is captured by wood in order for it to be super strong. Remember, the way I try to build things is to make each piece depend on the other. So now we need the pen. Of course, I can't find the pen. On this airplane here, I think I'm going to try to use these metal ball links too, instead of them plastic ones, because these are a lot freer. These are RC car ball links, but I need to find, this is a turnbuckle. I need to find a threaded rod. I have to go to the hardware store and stand in front of the boxes and start playing around, looking through the boxes of screws to see what'll fit in the end of that, because it's an M something or other. I wish they could get their shit together and everybody use American or everybody use metric. One deal. There it is. Okay, so in order to make this work and work correctly, we need a shim. We need a shim. Shimmy. And I just happen to have one that I took out of that box. So we'll make a shim here. This shim here come on. Yeah. Need a pen to pin it up there. Get up there. Okay. Okay. Now broach them. You guys never heard that term before. Broach is turning a round hole into a square one. Something broke loose there. Have to look inside there, cut it open, see what happened. We didn't have enough glue on that. Better happen now than in the air, though. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Now it's just a matter of finishing these things, and we got a perfect 16th inch gap around there. I couldn't ask for anything better. I need to find out what came loose inside this. I think the block came loose inside that, so we'll cut this open. See, that's exactly what happened. That block came loose when I pushed that hinge in there for broaching. So, moral of the story is don't move on until you figure out what's going on. So, in order to get it in there right, we'll take this, stand it up. I bet it won't come loose now. And then it won't come loose now. Okay. You kind of need them blocks to be well secured so that the flaps don't fly off. Yeah, at least. It's on there now. Okay, it goes in there. So now I can glue this back on. Like nothing happened. Okay. I'll give that a second to kick off. I don't want to stick it back in there and have it lock up on me, which it could do possibly anyway. Okay, we're in good shape. So now we'll sand this a little bit and get a little close. You know, it takes a few times sanding this till you're happy with it. Which it does me anyway. What are we going to eat tonight? What kind of TV dinner are we going to have tonight? Yeah, I did a snap roll. My number one Thunderbolt did a snap roll and rolled off into the pavement at Buda Park. Well, number two Thunderbolt did. About 2 days before the Nats. I used canopy glue to glue the hinges on. I was told canopy glue, that's the greatest shit since sliced bread. Well, don't use canopy glue to glue hinges. Use epoxy. Outboard flap flipped off on a hourglass, and the airplane barrel rolled in on top of me, missed me about 10 foot, and it drilled itself right into the ground on the pavement. Fortunately, it didn't hurt the engine. And Ted Winterman was standing there. He said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I'm going to take the lines off this one, and I'm going to put it on that one, and we're going to fly." He said, "I'd go home." Yeah, you go home, but I only got a couple of days before the Nats. That's another reason why I'm trying to finish this up. I got a few airplanes I could fly, but I want some airplanes. My best flying airplane looks ragged, so I'm trying to replace it. My most expensive airplane hanging over my right shoulder here with the PA-75 and all that, I don't like the way it flies. It's too much weight in the nose. That's the reason for building this airplane, to see if I can get a PA-75 to operate like a Super Tiger 60 airplane by leaving the weight off. High roller weighs 62 ounces. And most of that extra weight, between 58 and 62, which is 4 ounces, is in the nose. And it just does not fly the same as my same numbers, fly the same as the XL. I mean, I could fly. That's the airplane that comes up on the web, on the page, first flight of my new plane in Huntersville. It flies all right. It's just not me. Gonna have to get another file or something and work on that some more. I got some more touch up to do there. Now, if you look how these hinges operate. See that gap right there? Oh, I rolled it over on the cradle. It never changes because it pivots behind the leading edge of that. So the leading edge stays right up against the trailing edge. That's another thing that makes them nice. These are untapeable. I'm never going to tape. Bob Wiley told me, got to tape the hinges, got to tape it. I did that on my S6B. I almost hit the ground. And no, you can't say that they weren't put on right, because Whiteley did it. I need to work on that a little bit. Let me get my stick. Or have to make a stick, I guess. Have to make a new stick. Oh, crap. New stick. You flew the Junar at Cleveland last year. Yes. What do you think of it? You got to remember, I only had 12 flights for the year. I watched those tracing videos. And if you look at them close, I think I did better than they scored me, that's for sure. I'm not well liked. What did you think of how it flew, Chris? That airplane's been in the top 20 twice. Just looked like, I don't know, it's pretty beat up. Only got me 16 points in appearance. But it's 4 years old and kind of ratty. This is going to take some work on this flap. This is the hinge I had a problem with. I put some stupid fill on it. Now you asked John how many flights I flew last year, and it's probably 12. Or 6 at the Nats, and I didn't have any practice before or nothing. I didn't burn a half a gallon of fuel last year. This hinge is nice. Nice one. This outer one is giving me a little stick. Work on this a little more. Just remember, fellas, eggs ain't loops. There's a few of the top guys that they fly eggs. They get scored big. Yeah, that's loosened up good. If you watch the video of my Nats flight with the Junar, I posted my inverted flight. It's on the channel. I got 240s and a 25. What the hell was he looking at? That's what pissed me off. Well, that's too bad. Don't be discouraged. We've all done it. You know, if these judges are going to judge, they need to pay attention. I'm getting tired of getting bracketed. 240s and a 25. Or maybe it was a 28. You know, takeoff, level flight, and inverted flight are scores that I can give myself from the center of the circle. You know, according to the rule book. The other maneuvers are how the judges perceive it. But when I know that, you know, if the airplane is on track and doesn't move for 6 laps, how can you score it anything but a 40? But I'm not well liked, so. But I'll get even. Okay, so it's starting to free up. See, I can let it drop and it'll drop. But I'll work on that until it's 100% free. Just a matter of tinkering. I need a new blade in this. I think that would help cut the crap. These blades they're not very strong. They're really sharp, but they're not very strong and they don't last long. Wonder if I should go out and pick up my wiper blade so I don't have to scrape snow with the wiper blade. Like a little spot right there I'm going to have to fill with superfill. Damn. Where the hinge got glued. Okay. That one's free. That one's free. This one's a little tight. See that sliver I just cut out of there? That's what's holding it up. Well, I used to be good. Now that's maybe. I maybe had 6 flies because I think I didn't practice till I got to the gnats. You have to ask John. He has a better grip on how much I flew, which was nothing. Yeah, we got another bugger right there going to come out. Of course, it's on the top. Damn, catastrophic lockup. Can't believe how much that shit wicks. Man, I was squirting it way over here. I think maybe this wood is too soft. There we go. Got it undone. Still hear it clicking though. Oh, come on. If you didn't care how it looked, you could have 16th inch gap there, but I don't particularly care for that look. There we go. These holes clean up pretty good when you put the paper on it and cut the hinge line in. But you need to try to make it as nice as possible. Got to be perfect. Okay, let's see how it works now. I know it'll be another sand out because I can see faint crosshatch of 80 grit lines in it. See, that's how it's supposed to work, like that. Yep. Got a hard piece of glue right there. Yep, that's it. Yeah, that's what I like. I like creating something. This is art. And me being the Eric Brin of plate spinning. All right, it took an hour and a half to get one hinge done, one flap on. We ain't gonna make it today. I got it pretty close, but this week we'll get it done. This week we'll get her done. The topic for Saturday at John's next week may be doing the horn, the clips, the tips, and the covering, because I need to get everything started in covering here shortly. If I'm going to do anything in St. Louis when I get back, I need it covered. You got to put some putty on it. Fill in them little buggers. I don't like it, but it's got to be done. Try to get them scratches out while I got it going. Okay. Well, that'll be tomorrow night, maybe. It's nothing. It's so simple. Everything I do is simple, retarded. Keep it simple. The bell crank install is about 5 minutes worth of work, if that. That's how you want your hinges to be, your controls to be. So when you go like that, they just flutter, flop. It's going to take a little work. This is it's pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, it's a start. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with these tips. I got to think about this. The lightest way to do this is to just round this off, but it doesn't quite look as good. I don't know whether I'm going to go for form over function or what. I don't want to give up on any weight. That's the deal. Bell crank install, huh? Well, let me show you how long it takes to mount a bell crank. Real simple. Top. I guess we can do that tonight because it's 5 minutes. It's not even 5 minutes to mount the bell crank. Fingernails. Bottom. Okay. Bell crank. So you take your two spars that you got here. You kind of hold them together like so, where the center lines are matched up. So we'll clamp them. Clamp and a clamp. Bell crank. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this bell crank, but I'll go ahead and we'll set it in there so you can see how it's done, because it's nothing. So I got that off. Don't need that. I bought a wing from that guy at Cleveland that had all that junk, and this bell crank came out of one of his wings. Look what's holding that bell crank in. 2 little blocks, one on each side. That's all he had. That thing would have jerked out of the airplane. Because I'll guarantee you, when I'm doing the pull test, I can pull you and the machine with you. I'm not afraid of my bell crank coming out. I don't think this piece of wire is going to be long enough. Crap. Let's check and see. We're not going to use this push rod either, but I need to get some tubing on there to hold these stupid things on there. This is just a test fit anyway, so it don't matter. And tubing is what suspends my bell crank. No kidding. Of course, it has these wheel collars on it, but the tubing is what spaces the bell crank fuel line. You could get fancy and solder brass eyelets on it or whatever, but no need. Because you're locking the, you're going to lock the wheel collars down on the nuts. I just want to see if this piece of wire is long enough. Yeah, possibly. Okay, so let's fish this through. $15 and $15. Like, subscribe, and share. Super chat. Whatever. Got to keep that stuff going. So I got a piece of carbon fiber here. You could use piano wire or whatever. And let me up that a little bit. Maybe we'll do a split cam on it. Too bad I can't there we go. I don't know. See, that's why I wanted to use OBS. This thing doesn't allow me to do what I want to do. But OBS drains the resources out of the computer and everything lags so bad. So anyway, push rod I'm going to put over here, I guess. I used to use, and I probably should do it on this one because it's so much lighter and it's just as stiff. I used to use aluminum tubing, 1/4-inch aluminum tubing stuffed with balsa wood for my push rod. It's about half the weight of carbon fiber. But everybody likes that. Oh, I got carbon fiber in mine. Yeah, whatever. So you come over here to the end, tip, fish this wire, this piece of carbon or wire or whatever you got down the wing. Probably should have used a piece of wire because that don't want to cooperate. So we got music wire now. We'll try that. Okay, where's my tape? I know I brought 2 rolls in. There it is. So I use this wire here. Probably ought to glue that. Hopefully it won't come undone. If it does, I'll have to take it back out and CA the wire together. Okay. There we are. And we got the lead out pulled through anyway. Like I say, I don't know if that wire's long enough, and if it's not long enough, I'm not going to monkey with it, but this will give you an idea how it's mounted. It's no big deal, and it's the strongest way to do it. This becomes part of the airplane. Like I said, I could jerk you off your feet with the pull tester. Okay, that wire is not really long enough, but we're going to have to remove some of that. But I'll give you an idea how it works. The first thing I need to do is figure this out. It's right there. Right there. 1/4 inch back. Yeah, this is once you put this bell crank in like this, the suspended bell crank, and you put the sheeting on, the sheeting's glued to this, the fuselage is glued on, then there's a 1/8 inch piece of 1/8 inch thick, 1/2 inch wide piece of 7-ply plywood that goes between the fuselage that this wire sticks up through. So in order to pull the bell crank out of the airplane, you'd have to pull the fuselage off. There's no way. And that wire being only that long, there's no way you can bend it. I will jerk you right off the ground with the pull test. I've seen, I won't mention names, but some pretty top flyers at the Nats pull out their bell cranks. And I guess they weren't paying attention to my videos, because it's unbelievable what happened. Twice, the same guy, twice. Beautiful airplanes, twice pulled the bell crank out. Okay, so now we get an 1/8 inch drill bit. Okay. I think this is an 8. Yep, this is an 8. Looks like an 8. Let's, where's my calipers? 125. That's what it needs to be. Where's the calipers? Come on, dude. Oh well, we'll just drill it, and if it ain't an 8. Anybody see my calipers sitting on the bench? There they are. 125. That's 125. That's it. A little less than an 8, about 123. But who's counting? All right, you hold up your compression spars together like that. I had them clamped, but it wouldn't move. They're lined up on the center line. You should be doing this on a drill press, but I don't have one here. I'm going to have to drill it by eye. Where are we at? Drill a hole in it like that. No big deal. That pivot goes down through or up through the top. Like I say, that wire is not quite long enough, I don't think, because it needs to stick out above the sheeting about 1/4 of an inch. Let me hold this up so you get an idea what it looks like in the airplane. One on top, one on bottom. And that's how it's held together, just like that. Let me see, let me take this other thing out of there. I'll turn that off. So this is how it's held in there. And this is glued to the spar, and then the sheeting's glued on top of this. And where the fuselage comes through, there's a piece of 8-inch thick aircraft ply, 7-ply plywood, 1/2 inch wide with that hole in it. It's resting, because it's sticking through the sheeting, it's resting up against the side of the fuselage. Then it's all super filled on the inside, so that becomes solid one piece. This becomes part of the airplane. I mean, and it's minimal. You know, every piece helps every other piece. Like a beam wing. A beam wing is super flimsy until the covering gets on it. Then it becomes monocoque. Okay, that belt crank's installed. All I'd have to do is glue this all together. And that wire is not long enough. It's a 1/2 inch too short. So we'll leave that for another time. Do you have any questions on how it mounts? I mean, pretty simple. I'll have to cut another piece of wire. I did it on a profile. It's not done exactly the same, but you build your wing with the suspended bell crank, and then you have to kind of make a notch in the doubler, the fuselage doubler, and then when you slide the wing in, the pin that's sticking up rests on the outboard doubler, or no, inboard doubler. So you make that slot on the outboard side, and when you slide your wing in from the outboard slide, it slides up until that pin rests up next to the inboard doubler. Then you stuff it full of balsa wood and epoxy, and then super fill around it. That's how I did it the last time. But yeah, it'll work on a profile, no problem. So the bell crank, I mean, I wasn't planning on installing that tonight, but since you asked, I went and, went through it. It's a 5-minute job. You didn't have to talk. But that's what it looks like in there, through the top, through the bottom. And in order to pull that bell crank out, you have to pull that wire through the basswood, through the sheeting, and through the top spar, and through the fuselage. So there's no way. There's absolutely no way wires would break before the bell crank came out. Any other questions? We've been on 2 hours now again. I think I'm going to kill it at 2 hours and eat dinner. I probably won't be on again. I'll tinker with it a little bit, but, watch TV. I got to have a little my time myself. I put in 4 hours today, 5 hours today on camera building airplanes. And I want you to start talking now, and in 5 hours stop by yourself with nobody to talk to. See how you do. Dan figured it out. It ain't easy. I like this. This install turned out pretty nice. It needs another sanding here and a little bit of filler right there, but they turned out good. I need to cut that. Just detail stuff. Can you use threaded rod for the pivot wire? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Threaded wire is grade 3. I don't even think it's grade 5. Piano wire is grade 8. So you're not gonna. It would be tough. Just think of. Here's a test for you. Take a bolt, a piece of threaded rod that long, and put it in the vise. Lay it on the vise with the vise open, and push on it with a a screwdriver. Boing! It'll bow and it'll bend. It'll bend like a bitch. But if you put a piece of piano wire in the vise that long and push on it, you won't phase it. There ain't no way. There ain't no way you're gonna move it. You're gonna lay it in the vise this way, resting on the vise. And then take a screwdriver, because that's about the width of a bell crank, some small screwdriver, 1/8 of an inch, and take that threaded rod and push on it, and it'll bend like that, and then keep pushing. It'll bend, it'll kink. When you try to do that same operation with a 3-inch piece of piano wire, you won't phase it. Shit, bolt cutters hardly cut it. My compound cutters will cut it. Let me see if I got a piece of 1/8 inch. I got a packet of 1/8 inch piano wire. Don't know what happened to it. Maybe I took it over John's. Of course, I don't know. I've been building airplanes or use it for landing gear. Might have to get some more. I guess I could use this piece here. Okay. Here's a piece of 1/8 inch. Let me get this camera going over here. Here's a piece of 1/8 inch piano wire. We're going to make 2 cuts on this. Yep, that'll be long enough. Yeah, your 1/8 inch piano wire, try to cut it like I just did. Let me know how you do. Okay. I want you to take a piece of piano wire like this, put it in the vise, and push on right in the center and see if you can bend it. Ain't no way. So let's change out that rod, because then I can give a better demonstration what it looks like. Stupid push rod put a dent in my flap. Should have took that off. Okay. So you want a wheel collar and a washer on there like so. And then goes the bell crank. Then a washer and then a wheel collar. And I space it with field tubing. I'm not going to do that tonight, but that's how I do it. Until it's kind of under tension. Come on. There we go. So here, I've got the field tubing on it, but I make these field tubing touch after I get where I want my bell crank in the horizontal plane. I'll cut this tubing to the desired length, but I need to hog out this #1 shear web so that I can get full travel on the bell crank. Man, need to hog that hole out a little bit. And that is not the push rod I'm going to use. So let me get the drill bit here. There we go. Okay, that bell crank is mounted now for all intents and purposes. And what I'll do is I'll measure, gotta get it straight. I'll measure the distance between here and here and then cut a piece of fuel tubing that's the right length to keep that from moving up and down. Plus it has 2 set screws in it. I haven't tightened them up yet, but I'll do that as well. But you notice that wire is sticking above the sheeting. Well, the piece that goes in over the top of that is what locks the fuselage onto the wing and the bell crank. So like I say, in order to pull a bell crank out of mine, you have to pull it through the wing, through the fuselage, and through this, and bend. There is no way a bell crank will pull out of my airplane. 100% guaranteed. You will break the lead outs before the bell crank will pull out. Of course, then I got to figure out what we're doing here. Yeah, I got to drop that down and open that up with a Dremel. Drop it down and open her up. And I saw in a thread on the forum, bell crank stops. What are you, crazy? Nobody puts bell crank stops on. Let it swing its full travel and adjust the throw at the horn. You don't want anything inhibiting rotation of the bell crank. Any questions? $13 and $15. Make sure to hit that like button. I think we had about 29 on it one time. I went a little long. Tonight. Well, that's good, Chris. Hopefully you understand how the hinges work, and now you see how the bell crank goes. The bell crank took not even half the time that it took to do the hinges. You know, it doesn't take any time at all to mount these parts. Remember, your airplane is the sum of the total, if that makes sense. Hopefully this is still cold. Should be. Unthawed. I had this bottle of water in the car, and when I brought it in, it was frozen solid. Got this sitting on the counter. Hopefully it's unthawed. unthawed and still cold. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to eat dinner. Tomorrow night is Charles's night, so you won't see me till Tuesday. I will go ahead and keep working on this tomorrow night some. I really don't think there's anything that I haven't already covered that that you need to see. I guess I could do a clean hole here. I got the drill. Obviously, I'm not going to glue this on because I got bell crank work to do, but this gives you a little better idea how this all works together. Since I missed by a long ways. I missed. There we go. Let's cut a hole in this with a push rod. So this is glued to the spar with epoxy, and the spar is epoxy to the other spar. Then this goes on, and when the fuselage goes on, a little bar goes between this, with this sticking out, it's epoxy to that. There's no way it can come out. No way. I defy anybody to have enough strength to pull that through the wing without the lead outs. The lead outs will break before the bell crank will pull out. So that's it. We'll see you Tuesday. Wings, tight lines. See ya.